Munich, The Edge of War is a new historical drama that is streaming on Netflix. But is it worth your time? Let's find out. Munich, The Edge of War is a fictionalized account of the Munich conference, and we follow two diplomats from opposing governments as they race against time to expose a secret document. In a nutshell, I liked Munich, The Edge of War. I thought this was a good enough historical drama that had a few tense and engaging moments. But first off, let's talk about what really works here. I think the acting is just top notch. George MacKay is extremely likable in this role, and he really adds something to his character that makes you care for him. Jeremy Irons as Prime Minister Chamberlain is great all throughout. I thought he gave a great performance that felt realistic and grounded. I really loved him in the film. In fact, all of the acting throughout was great, and they did enough to make us care about the characters, which is definitely a great thing. And again, there are some moments in the film that are quite engaging and very tense. And that is what the film aims for. It aims to be this tense drama. Sometimes it pulls it off very well, and sometimes it doesn't. I can't really say that this was an engaging watch throughout. There were a few moments that just took me out of the film just because of its awkward pacing and also because of the way the story was written. I mean, the film opens up with a very unusual sequence for a historical drama. I thought that felt extremely out of place with the rest of the film. It just didn't hook me instantly as I was watching the film. It at least took me around 20 minutes to get into the story, and slowly it did build the tension from that point on, and I thought it did it well enough. I have to mention that the film was very well made. I mean, I liked the direction, though there were a few sequences where I thought they just moved the camera a bit too much, but overall I think it's a well directed film. Also, from a cinematography perspective, the movie definitely looks good. The musical score of the film really stood out to me. I thought that really added into the intensity of a few sequences. So don't get me wrong, it's definitely a very well made film. It's just that more often than not, the film takes a very generic route when it could really have done something more that would have added to the suspense or the tension. It draws out the story, and there were a few sequences that I felt were unnecessary. This is a film that clocks in around 2 hours 10 minutes. It didn't need to be that long. Also, I'm not a kind of person who looks at historical accuracy. I just judge the film for what it is. But when they were actually going to fictionalize a true story, why not be a little bit more creative? Because the core conflict of the film is actually quite interesting and fascinating. I really think they could have taken a different approach to the very same story, which could have made it a lot more than it was. But in the end, I think it's a good film. I don't really have anything against that. It's just that it had a potential for a lot more, and the central conflict was quite interesting. It's just it couldn't execute it to the level it should have executed it. As far as the recommendation goes, if you like historical dramas, if you're either ways interested in watching the film, then by all means do check it out. With all of that said, I'm going to give Munich, The Edge of War a 70%. And if you're in a mood for a historical drama that is centered around the World War and Hitler, then I would recommend that you watch Valkyrie, which is a film starring Tom Cruise, and I think that's just a great historical film. So whatever, comment down below what you guys thought about Munich, The Edge of War, and also tell me what other films do you want me to review on this channel. I'll do my best to do that. And also subscribe to the channel so that you'll stay up to date with all of the content on this channel. Do give the video a like, it really helps with the algorithm. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again.